You ever been disrespected so bad it made your blood boil? I'm talking about the kind of moment where your instincts scream to react, to lash out, to prove them wrong right there, right then. I've been there, felt that heat in my chest, but I didn't move. I didn't speak. I stayed quiet. And let me tell you something. That silence, that was louder than anything I could have said. See, people think silence is weakness. Nah, it's the ultimate flex. Because when you've built yourself in the dark, when you faced your demons at 2 a.m. alone with no one clapping for you, you don't owe anyone a damn word. Staying quiet after disrespect isn't about backing down. It's about showing the world you don't need their validation. You don't need to scream your worth. You live it. Every damn day. Most people, they react. Someone throws shade, they throw it back. Someone questions their grind, they start explaining. That's noise. And that's exactly what the disrespect is meant to create. Distraction, drama. But if you're really about that life, you don't flinch. You don't fight small battles. You go silent and you go to work because the grind doesn't talk. It shows. You know who talks the most? And the ones who ain't doing shop. But you stay quiet and you keep showing up day after day after night. While they're busy talking, you're evolving. While they're laughing, you're lifting. While they're doubting, you're becoming. And one damn day, you walk back in the room and you don't even need to say a word. Your results will slap the disrespect right off their face. Silence isn't the absence of power. It's the proof of it. You want to be unstoppable. Learn to eat disrespect like breakfast. No reaction, no emotion, just grind. You want to know how I got here? Not by screaming louder than the noise, by becoming so strong, unshakable, so damn relentless that the noise faded into nothing. So next time they doubt you, next time they try to break you, stay quiet and let them think you're soft. Let them think they won. And then let your comeback be so brutal, so undeniable, it rewrites every lie they ever told about you. Stay quiet. Stay dangerous. Stay grinding. You ever hear someone say, if you don't speak up, they'll walk all over you? That's what average people say. That's what the weak believe. But I'll tell you what most people don't understand. Silence is the ultimate power move. When you stay quiet after disrespect, you're not giving up the fight. You're choosing where and how to fight it. And trust me, most battles aren't won with words. They're won in the shadows, in the miles, in the grind that nobody sees. You think I needed to clap back at every fool who doubted me? Hell no. I went silent because I knew my worth didn't need to be explained. It needed to be proven. That silence, that takes more strength than any loudmouth comeback ever will. Weak people yell, strong people build. While they're talking, you're becoming something they'll never understand. Staying quiet means you've mastered your emotions, that you've outgrown the need to entertain nonsense. That you've become a savage that doesn't reek to noise. You respond with dominance. The world doesn't need to hear your pain. It needs to see your rise. So when they disrespect you and you say nothing, you just told them everything. You said, watch what happens next. Most people, the moment they feel disrespected, they snap, they go off. They let the emotions take the wheel. That's a trap. That's weakness disguised as strength. You think clapping back is power. That's easy. That's basic. Anyone can react. But it takes a savage level of discipline to pause, say nothing, and go straight into the grind. See, when you react, you're handing them control. You're letting their words dictate your energy. But when you respond with growth, when you take that disrespect and bury it deep inside and then hit the weights harder, run farther, work longer, that's how you flip the game. That's how you build something so unshakable no words can touch it. Every insult is a tool. Every doubt is fuel. You stack that shot, not in anger, but in focus. You don't need to prove them wrong with your mouth. You prove them wrong by becoming something they can't even recognize anymore. You don't respond to disrespect with noise. You respond with results. You don't get emotional. You get surgical. Let them waste their breath. You weaponize it. That's the difference between reacting like the rest and rising like the few. Disrespect, I love it. Feed me that shut, because while most people let it break them, I use it to build. Every time someone walks down, doubts me, laughs behind my back, I don't get better. I get better. You got to flip the switch in your brain and realize this is fuel, pure high-octane fire for your engine. Let them talk. Let them underestimate you. That's their mistake. Yours is if you listen. But here's the truth. If you want to go to war with average, with your excuses, with your old self, you need that disrespect. It's pressure. And pressure makes diamonds or it breaks people. You choose which one you're going to be. When they tell you're not good, not strong, or not fast enough, you take that and burn it. You run on it. You train on it. You build a version of yourself so relentless that those same people won't even recognize you when you walk back in the room. You don't need revenge. You need a reason. And disrespect is a damn good reason. Not to cry, not to whine, but to grind. Use it. Welcome it, because the more they throw at you, the hotter the fire gets. And the hotter the fire, the harder the steel. You want to know the real revenge? It's not yelling back. It's not proving a point in the moment. It's showing up months later, unrecognizable, stronger, harder, faster, and more dialed in than they ever thought possible. That's the move. You let your results slap every ounce of doubt straight out of their mouths. You don't say a word because your life says it all. See, talk is cheap. Anybody can run their mouth, Most people live in that space, in the noise. But real warriors, real dogs, we live in the results. You want to shut them up, don't outwork them. Outlast them. Outgrow every damn version of yourself that let them get close enough to doubt you in the first place. Let your consistency speak, your transformation speak. Let the late nights, the early mornings, the suffering, the silence, all of it do the talking. By the time they realize who you really are, it's too late. You're already 10 steps ahead while they're still back there stuck in their own weakness. You don't just prove them wrong, you make them regret ever opening their mouth. Not because you clap back, but because your grind made them irrelevant. That's power. That's how you answer disrespect, not with noise, but with evolution. Being you think every jab, every little insult, every side comment deserves your energy. Hell no. That's how they trap you. That's how they keep you distracted, throwing punches at shadows while the real fight is in front of you. You don't stop mid-marathon to argue with somebody in the crowd. You keep running. Eyes forward and locked in, the mind locked in. Because every second you spend fighting small battles, you're losing ground in the war that actually matters. The war with yourself. You think I haven't been disrespected. I've been called every name, laughed at, counted out more times than I can count. And every time I stayed quiet because I knew the truth. They weren't even in an arena. They weren't doing the work. They weren't suffering the silence I was suffering in. So why the hell would I waste my breath? That's like a lion explaining itself to sheep. You got to be so focused on your mission that disrespect doesn't even register. You hear it, but you don't listen to it because you're too damn busy becoming something greater. You don't fight the noise. You outgrow it. You bury it under every rep, every mile, every drop of sweat. That's the no wasted energy, no detours, only forward, only fire, only the mission. When someone disrespects you and you feel that fire surge up, that urge to snap, to clap back, to let him have it, that's the test. That's the moment most people fail because it's easy to explode. It's easy to react. But it takes a different kind of savage to sit in that heat, swallow it, and say nothing. You want to talk about discipline. That's it right there. Not the workouts, not the diet, not the grind. It's staying calm when your pride is screaming for war. Most people let emotion run their lives. You hurt their ego, they fall apart. You doubt them, they crumble or overcompensate. But if you've built yourself in silence, if you've trained your mind like your body, then disrespect doesn't shake you. It sharpens you. That's how you know you're different. You don't break under pressure. You don't get pulled into the dirt. You rise above it because you know your value doesn't need to be defended. It needs to be earned in the dark over time. You want to be hard, has to be in the learn to take disrespect and still choose discipline. Learn to sit in that fire without letting it burn you. Because the loudest person in the room ain't the strongest. It's the one who feels the heat and still doesn't flinch. That's real control. That's next level mental toughness. That's what separates beasts from boys. People are always watching. They watch how you carry yourself, how you move, how you handle pressure, failure, and yeah, especially how you deal with disrespect. And in those moments, when someone tries to tear you down, the whole world leans in to see what you'll do. You explode, you react, you give them a show. Then you just proved them right. But if you stay calm, if you stay locked in the keep your mouth shut and your feet moving, you just showed him something they don't see often. Control, power, mastery. You don't gain respect by screaming. You earn it by holding the line when it gets uncomfortable. When they come at your character, your past, your grind, and you stay unfazed. That's when they know you're built different because anybody can be posed when things are easy. But when the fire hits, when your pride's on the line, you still choose silence. That silence speaks louder than any comeback ever could. Your presence in those moments tells a story. How you walk, how you breathe, how you don't break. Quiet confidence. That's what rattles people. Because deep down they know if you're that calm, if you're that focused under fire, then you must have been through something. You must have suffered more than they can imagine. And if you've already survived that, then there's nothing they can say that's going to shake you now. You ever notice how people get uncomfortable around silence? They don't know what to do with it. They throw out disrespect, expected noise. Chaos, some kind of emotional reaction, because that's what they would do. But when you give them nothing, when you just stand there cold, composed, unmoved, that messes with their head. That silence becomes power. It becomes a mirror showing them their own insecurity, their own weakness. You don't have to bark to show you bite. That quiet, focused energy, that's what scares people. Because when a man doesn't flinch after being disrespected, that means he's dangerous. That means he's locked in on something bigger than ego. That means he's been to war with himself and came out the other side harder than before. Silence makes them question what they don't understand, your discipline, your mindset, your capacity for pain, for patience, for payback. They expect noise. Don't give it to them. Let them wonder you're plotting. Let them lie awake thinking. Why didn't he say anything? You keep working in that silence. Keep stacking wins in the dark. Because while they're obsessing over your lack of reaction, you're becoming something unstoppable. Silence builds pressure. And pressure, when it's time, explodes. Let your silence set the stage for something they never saw coming. The real work, it doesn't happen when the world's watching. It happens in the dark when nobody's around to cheer you on. When the alarm goes off at 4 a.m. and your bed feels like a prison. When your legs are screaming and your lungs are burning and every part of your body is begging you to quit. That's where the battle is won. That's where the silence is loudest. The grind you put in when nobody's watching builds a fortress around your mind and body. Disrespect hits you loud and clear out in the open, but how you respond, that response is forged in those lonely hours. The early mornings, the cold nights, the endless reps no one will ever see. You take the pain, the doubt, the disrespect, and you bury it in sweat and tears. You become so damn relentless in the dark that when it's time to step back into the light, you don't just survive, you dominate. Most people crumble under pressure because they haven't done the work when it counted. They want glory without sacrifice. But you understand the power of that unseen grind. You know the real fight is fought inside, so stay quiet, stay focused, and keep training harder than anyone else in the room. When the time comes to show up, your silence will turn into a storm that no disrespect can withstand. Let the world underestimate you. Let them doubt your heart, your hustle, your vision. Because while they're busy talking, you're busy grinding. That's the secret. Staying quiet doesn't mean you're invisible. It means you're invisible in the moment so you can explode later. You stay locked in, relentless, unstoppable. You don't waste energy convincing anyone. You just show up every day and put in the work nobody else wants to do. Disrespect is like a shadow chasing you, but you don't turn around and fight it. You run faster. You push harder. You get stronger. You become the version of yourself so relentless, so unbreakable that no disrespect sticks. It slides off you like water off a diamond. Because you're not defined by their words, you're defined by your actions, your grind, your silence that screams louder than any insult. That's how you become unstoppable. Not by reacting, not by arguing, but by staying quiet, grinding harder, and becoming the absolute beast that makes disrespect meaningless. You don't just survive the disrespect, you rise above it so high that they can't even reach you. That's power, that's legacy, that's the grind.